Steve, how many billionaires do you know?
Well, depends how you define know, but I probably have spoken to, met, done business with, I'd say a third of the billionaires in the world.
So over 300.
Oh, much more than, I've had more than 300 here in the showroom.
What's one trait you think they all have in common?
They want to get what they want to get, and they don't care about anybody saying no, they can't. They don't give a damn. They just want to figure out how to get and have their people around them take care of all the details.
So would you say they're very tough to negotiate with?
Oh man, they're super tough. I mean, that's part of the game, actually. It's part of their sport to just negotiate. Sometimes they just do it just for fun. But the fact of the matter is after the tough negotiations, then it's okay. Then everything relaxes and they let their other people take care of all the details, which still is a lot of difficulty, but usually you can come back with the principal and take care of any final things that have to get wrapped up. Because usually the other people working for them want to prove how important they are, and they cause a lot more work than sometimes needs to be done.
Do you use sales in your day-to-day life, not just in the office?
I just don't look at it as sales. When I'm talking to somebody about buying or selling an airplane, I just feel like I'm giving them a service. So I'm trying to do something that's going to help them. I'm not really in my head, how much am I going to make on this deal is not my number one priority.
Would you say that every interaction is a form of a negotiation? So for example, when you go into the restaurant and the hostess tells you, the table's not available or the table you wanted isn't there, that's also a mini sale. It's a mini negotiation, no?
In a way, yeah, it's a negotiation. I mean, you're really absorbing all kinds of information and trying to figure out the response. So it's how quick your brain reacts to the input of information.
You say when dealing with billionaires is different to a negotiation, which is day to day.
For sure. The reason why is because their brain just operates on a different spectrum. They're quicker, they know what they want, they're not worrying about what somebody else is going to say. So they make decisions much quicker, and they know, if they want to move forward or not. Where if you're not talking to the principal, you're not really able to negotiate 100% right there on the spot, because sometimes they have to go back and find out what they can or can't do.
I feel like out of everybody in the world, you probably know the most billionaires, right? Who could know more?
Well, the billionaires themselves, they probably know more because they know each other, they work with each other, they hang around with each other. But a lot of them are lonely. I mean, a lot of them, are in their space, especially the new minted billionaires. They, are younger people. They're in their little small world. They've created a tech company and they have a group of small friends, and they're really not out there in that world. The older generation, they've been around a long, long time. They have a lot of people that they know, but, they are also very protective of their space because usually they're worried about everybody always trying to sell them something. So they try to stay in a small knit circle.
Who's the youngest person you've sold a private jet to?
28-year-old hedge fund guy,
What did he take?
a Gulfstream 550.
What was he like to deal with?
He was represented by another broker, but I met him once, and he was quick to make decisions because he was taking the advice from his representative, which was a wise thing to do. So we were able to do the business pretty quickly. But he was open to learn, and that's really great. When they're younger, they are open to learn. When they're older, they know a lot more and they're stuck in their old ways. So sometimes it's harder to negotiate.
Out of all of the hundreds of billionaires you've dealt with, would you say it's possible to become a billionaire by luck?
Yeah, 100%. But also, the old adage is the harder you work, the luckier you get.